Good morning and welcome to BOTB HQ in Parsons Green, South West London. My name is Christian Williams, the presenter here at BOTB. And we're here this morning to judge the latest midweek car competition, which ran from the 30th of July to the 5th of August 2020. And just before I hand over to Charlie, our lawyer, this morning, once again, massive congratulations to last week's midweek car competition winner, Paul Greenwood, winning the fantastic Suzuki Jimny Plus £10,000. I'm now going to pass over to Charlie HANSOM from Onside Law, who will oversee the proceedings this morning.
My name's Charlie HANSOM from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditors Wilkins Kennedy. I'd now like to introduce today's judges. First up is Alain Gomar.
Good morning, my name is Alain Gomar. I'm an ex-professional footballer, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Thanks, Alain. If you could now use the secure link provided and mark on the screen where you think the centre of the ball should be, and then we'll come back to you at the end for you to justify your position and for a final panel decision. Next up, Kieran Fitzgibbon.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I played football for more than 30 years and I'm now a senior county referee.
Next up, Peter GEORGIou.
Good morning, my name's Peter GEORGIou. I am a football and futsal referee.
Next up, Hugh Gilroy.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, mentor, tutor and observer.
Next up, Leo Donnellan.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Next up, Andy Brathwaite.
Thanks, Charlie. My name's Andy Brathwaite. I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Thanks, Alan. Can you now justify your position?
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. We've got three players in the shot. One is, hidden, behind his teammates. I think, so the ball is, between these two main players. I think the player with the red shirt is about, for me, is off the ground. When you look at, the position, the height of his knee is nearly at the same level as the hip of the player in blue. And I think he's off the ground and is up, to kick the ball. The player on the right-hand side with the striped shirt, I think he's going to try maybe to block the shot, or as you can see, he's putting some, he's pushing on his left leg. So he's moving towards his right-hand side to attack the ball also. So I'm not sure who's going to win the challenge. He's looking, slightly down below the horizontal, I would say. The player on the left-hand side, I think he's looking, further down from what I see. Based on that, I decided the center of the ball was where I put my cross.
Thanks, Hannah. Kieran, can you now justify your position?
Thanks, Charlie. Yes, I've got the two players in shot. Obviously, the third player behind, we can't see anything from him. I've also got the spectators. We're just looking in general direction, so can't take anything from the spectators. I think the player in red may have actually played the ball. I think he's got his arm in such a position that he's avoiding the handball. I think he's playing it off his chest. Not sure whether he's played the ball or not yet, but I think he may well have already played the ball, given where the two players are looking. And it's going slightly to his right, which is why his right arm is out. I think the ball is in between the two players, as Alan said. I'm taking the eye lines of both players. I think they're both looking quite sharply downward. Well, certainly the player in red is looking downwards. The player in blue is also looking in a downward direction. And taking the eye lines from both, that's why I placed my cross there.
Thanks, Kieran. Peter, can you now justify your position?
Yes, mine is the blue cross. As already indicated, three players in shot, two active, one at the back. I believe the player in his body language, the player in red is I think he's actually going into the ball. The ball has bounced up. it's not as high as he thinks it was going to bounce, and I think he's going to move into the ball and use his just below his chest, hip wise in between there, to play the ball, looking looking down off the horizontal. The player in red, player in blue, pretty static enough that he's able to look into where the ball is. He's not challenging for the ball at all. He's just on looking. And I've cross-referenced those sets of eyes, but I've also taken into account the spectators at the back, and especially the two with the hats on, the two black hats. And I've also, that's why I put it slightly more towards the red. But I think the red player is more favourite for the ball on this occasion, so that's where I put my centre of the ball.
Thanks, Peter. Hugh, can you now justify your position?
Yeah, mine's the orange cross. Two players in shot whose eye lines I took. For me, the player on the left in reds is going to play it or has just played it. A bit of an odd body position, but he's looking steeply down. It's either just played off his chest or his side, his legs back, maybe to play it again. For me, the blue player is looking down steeply. You can see from an angle of his head and also from both eyes where his eye line was. And also just little flecks and bits of grass around the kind of area where I've put it, I think shows he's either just played it or it's been played by someone and is in that general area. So that's why I placed it where I did.
Thanks, Hugh. Leo, if you can now justify your position.
Yes, mine is the grey cross. As been said, that there's two players in shot. I think the player in blue is not going to get to the ball. I think he's, like Alain said, maybe he's going to try and block it as the player in red plays it. I think the player in red will play this ball. I think if you look at his body shape, especially his arm, it's sort of telling you that the ball's coming towards him, and for me, he's going to play the ball. He might even take the ball on his thigh, but I think he's moving towards the ball. His right leg is sort of cocked, so he might even play this ball. But also with the magnifying glass, we got a good look at the two players' eyes. The player in blue is looking sort of just across, and the player in red, I think, is looking more steeply down. So just obviously certainly the player in red with his body language, as I said, I think he's going to play the ball. I think the crowd does tell you a little bit. I think the two people with hats on are looking more towards the player in red. So once again, I believe he's going to play the ball, and that's why I put him across where I did.
Thanks, Leo. Andy, if you can now justify your position.
Thanks, Charlie. On the purple cross, my colleagues were obviously, as you can tell by the markings, we all I believe that the guy in red, ball is bounced up. I believe that the guy in red is sort of the ball an angle, and he's either trying to pull his right hand away, but going into sort of forward, just to approach the ball, basically. I'm blue. I didn't think he was looking as low down as my colleagues, but maybe I'm slightly high on the angle, but I just felt he was looking fairly straight across. The ball bounced up. The guy in red, his eye line, he's looking obviously downwards, so I just felt he was looking slightly away from his body, as if he's actually attacking the ball with his chest, so he's put the hand away. For me, it's come at an awkward angle. That's why I've placed my purple cross for the centre of the ball.
Thanks, judges. Alain's the main judge. Could you now come to a panel decision with the other 5 judges? And for your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 6 individual selections.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Charlie. Hi, everyone. Today we got quite a wide spray. Let's start with drawing a few lines. I think there are a few differences of opinions today. especially with this player. It's quite wide, the spread here. Same from this player. Let's do both eyes actually. Okay, I think I'm the only one who mentioned that this player was in the air due to the when you look at the height of his knee, compared to the other player, it seems to be quite higher. I don't know. I don't think if he makes I don't know if he makes any if he would have an impact on the position of the ball, but. So as I said, there's quite a large spread. So we've got mainly 3 crosses on the higher end, and 3 more towards the the low end. Hugh, you mentioned that he was looking quite steeply down. If I put a magnifier on his eye. To me, he's not looking that, he's looking down, but, not that steeply, I would say. What's your view on that?
Yeah, for me, I just, I felt partly from the body position, as well as his general head position. If you look at his neck, it's really kind of chins right into his chest. I see what you're saying with looking at the eye. I just felt his general direction, given that it's very close to him, was looking more downwards. The same for the blue. And if you just look around the crosses, so down near kind of mine and go left slightly, you can see bits of grass. So for me, he's either just played it or that's flicked off the ball, or most likely off the ball rather than off him. So I just felt it's got to be near to him, and it's got to be in that area, because it's kind of the little flecks of grass have sprayed off the ball as it's either hit his hip or his knee.
Okay, yeah, no, I see what you mean. I think most of you guys mentioned that he has or he was going to chest the ball. I thought personally that because of his body language, he was bringing his right, so he was in the air, I thought, and he was bringing his left knee up, and he was going either kick the ball or maybe knee it. So the hands, I was a bit further on the right hand side. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 crosses, on the same line here. Andy, I think you mentioned also that he was going to probably to chest it.
Yes, Alan. I thought that it bounced up at an awkward angle, and I thought he was trying to put his right hand away, and when it automatically comes towards you, you tend to pull away. That the next best thing with his chest was going to be the next nearest thing to it. And I thought we were going to try and control it in that way.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. And Peter, you also thought, you were in the, in the mind that he was going to maybe chest it and control it.
I didn't think he was going to chest it. I think it was going to he was going to basically hit it with his lower abdomen. So between his chest and his waist, I think he's misjudged the actual bounce of the ball, and he's walking into it rather than chesting it. So that's why I've got it as lower than Andy there, and slightly closer to him, away from the player in blue. So that's my view of where the ball is, and I just think it's bounced up, and it's about stomach height.
Yeah.
Waist height. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got a no-code position. He's
Yeah.
with his right hand a bit curled, and looks like he's a bit surprised by the ball coming maybe at pace to him. I don't know. I'm not sure. Kieran, you were also sorry. I jump back to you. You were on the lower end. So did you think he was going to kick it maybe or?
No, I think he's already played the ball. I think the arm is out. I thought the arm was out to avoid the handball. I think it's come in somewhere around the chest or abdomen position. I think it's come off him at a slightly different angle to his right, which is why the two players, in my opinion, looking at awkward position, not ready to play the ball. I do feel that he's looking quite steeply downwards at player in red, and I felt the player in blue was also looking downwards. So I felt, looking at his shirt, and with the bits of grass that have come up, that the ball may already have been played, and now they're reacting to the unusual position or direction the ball has travelled in. But I don't think it's that far away from them. I'm not sure about the player in red being off the ground. I think perhaps the picture, looking at the spectators, which slope down from left to right, it may well be the angle of the camera that makes it look as though he's higher. Because if he's going up in the air, I'm not sure how he's going to play the ball that way. I can see. I think you're thinking he's playing it a bit later, but I felt the ball had been played already.
Yeah. Okay. Got your point. Let's draw. What I was suggest is to draw some lines, to the average, and see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah. To me, play on the left. This is the one we're focusing on at the moment. It's not looking. When you magnify, it's not even looking that steep. I know, Leo, for example, you were a bit further. When you look at that, what do you think?
Hi, Elaine. Yeah, no, I think for me, my interpretation is the player in red, for me, the ball's coming into him. I think he's trying to slow himself down a little bit just to adjust his body to either kick the ball or control the ball. As I said, I think it might even be coming onto his thigh. And I think his arm is out in that direction because you kind of, when you're running forward, you slow yourself down and you sort of adjust your body to depending where the ball is. So I think, your arm can be in that position. But I think he's just looking downwards to where, as I said, the ball would be for maybe his foot or his thigh. And the player in blue, I think he's also looking obviously in the same sort of direction.
Okay, let's look at the player in blue now. Looking at the average, I think this is feasible. Now I think the two eyes look at a slightly different angle. I think the left eye is looking a bit lower, and the right is more on the horizontal side. So if I put the the ball where the cross is, actually I might clear some lines to make it a bit neater. So if I put the ball down here, I think it kind of works. Even though I think the player on the left is looking slightly higher than that. What do you think, Kieran? What do you think, with the average as it is?
Yeah, I think that works. You've got three of us that think the player in red's looking steeply downwards, and three of you that are looking slightly higher. So I don't think you can. That's a fair between the two of them from the player in red. Again, I think each of us have got strong opinions about it, and we're not going to change very much. To me, there's four in line vertically, so where the ball is there. So that follows all that. So it would be yourself and you that are a little bit to the side that have to agree.
Yeah, now, yeah, if you look at it, we've got, 4 in the same line here. The cross is, the average is right in the middle. And we've got Hugh and myself that kind of cancel each other. So even if I remove Hugh and myself, it brings it. So let's check. I think it's likely the same. Yeah, it doesn't change much.
I think the average is a good. It encompasses everyone. Like Kieran said, you got your vertical, and you got the either side, left and right, cancelling each other out. So I think that's a good compromise.
Okay. What do you think, Leo? You happy with that?
Yeah, no, I think it's a very good compromise. I think for me, with the eye lines of both players, it definitely works.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Andy, happy with that?
Yeah, that's fine for me, Alan.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Hugh?
Yeah, happy.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's judge with the average. Okay, Charlie, we made our decision.
Okay, thanks, Alan. If you could now hit submit.
Yes.
So the coordinates selected are 1282, 1087. These coordinates will now be passed to Wilkins Kennedy to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.